Well, this year's International Youth Day falls on Monday, August 12th, and JoyNews' Just Turned 18 program, in partnership with Star Ghana Foundation, is putting the spotlight on the critical role of the youth in shaping Ghana's democratic process and their personal development. On Monday, the Just Turned 18 team heads to Koforidua for a live engagement with the participants, who are largely first-time voters, on key issues that will influence their vote come December 7. There will be resource persons from the NCC and Electoral Commission, as well as the police and political parties, who will provide guidance to the youth on how to constructively and actively participate in the electioneering period. And now let's do more by bringing in Dr. Ernestina Koleki Tete, who's Project Manager, Star Ghana Foundation. Grateful to you for joining. Now, what's the relevance of the Just Turned 18 show on Monday, the day for marking International Youth Day? Doc, kindly unmute so we can hear what you're telling us.
Thank you and good afternoon for having me. And thank you so much for pronouncing my name so well.
Welcome.
Anyway, so as you rightly said, Monday, 12 August is International Youth Day. The contribution of young people or young persons to the sustainable development and to achieving the sustainable development goals worldwide cannot be overemphasized. And it's even more so for us in Ghana, that has been described to have a very young age structure or a youthful population, where over 57%, according to the last 2021 Population and Housing Census data, are 25 years and below. And this is of much importance to us, that we cannot take for granted the contribution of this mass population towards our own development and then our attaining the sustainable development goals we set for ourselves. We cannot take it for granted. So on a day as important as that, we see bringing together young people, young voters, people who are voting for the first time, who will fall within the age category that I have talked about, as critical to our own national discourse. One thing we have noticed in Koforidua as we started, Star Ghana has been partnering the young people in the New Dublin South municipality for the last 1.5 hours to increase their participation in governance, decision making, particularly decisions that of issues that concerns them. In the 1.5 years that we have been with them, aside the lack of trust for authority, lack of trust for duty bearers, lack of trust for the whole system, they are also really shying away from politics. I mean, we seem to find this very negative connotation that they have around politics. And their peers tell them that anytime they invite them to any of the programs and mention governance, they just say, no, I don't want to be involved in politics. And this is not good for our body politic. This is not good for development. So on a day like this, where the contribution of young people to sustainable development is being magnified, we find it useful. We find this partnership with Joy TV and multimedia very useful to some extent erase this negative connotation these young people have, highlight their own significance and their importance to sustainable development, and to let them know that their voices matter in things like elections, electing who leads them, electing who promotes their agenda, electing who promotes or champions their growth is really important, and they can't shy away from that. So that is how significant marking a special day like that with a special event like that is for us.
Yeah. Okay. Now, as you mentioned, your organization has done some work regarding issues of concern to the youth in that area, and you've been sharing with us what you've found. But is that the only thing you gathered from your baseline study, that people are no longer interested in politics?
That is not the only thing. And I want to believe that what we found is not really, it's not peculiar to the young people of New Dublin South municipality. Indeed, the issue of youth unemployment is a big deal. So the project, so let me say our project with the Koforidua or New Dublin South municipality is to increase youth participation in governance so they can have access to quality social services, health, education, employment, livelihood opportunities, and social protection. So once we went into the community, it was pretty difficult to get to avert their minds to the issue of political participation. The first thing that jumps at you is we need jobs. The first thing that jumps at you is we need livelihood opportunities. We need, so we had to, it took some doing, a lot of work to bring their attention to the fact that if you need these things, you have to be at the table. You have to be part of decision making because we can't hand them over to you all the time. So that's been the practice, like interventions, that livelihood opportunity skills and all of that. And they don't really go far because the enabling environments that they need to thrive in is almost non-existent for them, according to them. And that is where we draw their attention to. You have to be at the decision making table. You have to be interested in decision making. You have to be interested in who is championing your cause. Once you have your seat at the table, then you are able to contribute to how you access all of these things that you are looking for. So big on their agenda. Well, the biggest finding for us was the loss or lack of job opportunities or the increasing youth unemployment, which, as I said, I'm not
Okay.
sure is peculiar to the New Dragon South
Sure.
municipality. They also mentioned the issue of governance, which I've already mentioned, that they don't trust that their leaders have their interests at heart and they are only being used when they are needed and then dumped when they are no longer needed. We asked about access to healthcare, access to literacy skills, and tech and digital skills, and they mentioned that and they are really low. Really, they are really, really low. Although Pretoria hosts two important universities, the KTU and the All Nations University, you'll be surprised to know how many or what percentage of young people have access to or have digital skills and are able to even put it to use.
Okay.
So those were the big issues: unemployment, access to social services, access to opportunities to use what they learn or what they study into use for their own benefit, and the fact that they don't have, and then information. They also bemoaned the lack of information, so they don't know where to find information. They don't know who to talk to. They don't know what information is available, and they think that the road to participating in governance is almost blocked to them. And this is something that we are working with them on.
Quite an interesting verdict, especially when they feel that leaders will use and dump them. That's something
That's
that
right.
the leaders today should be worried about and find ways that we could all work together to get youth to erase that, because actually they want to see actions where youth, the leaders, care for them. It's because we don't see that. That's why the youth are drawing this conclusion. But what are the expected outcomes from the dialogue, and how do you expect them to contribute to youth development in the country?
Yeah, so the expected outcomes of this dialogue is an increasing awareness of the importance of the voices of young people like themselves who will be in the room. So, whilst it's very difficult to measure attitude change or the change in beliefs, we are expecting that based on what we have done with them so far, our engagement with them so far, and this opportunity to engage with the NCCE, the EC, and the security service in a non-partisan way, the awareness of their own contribution and the importance of their voice in the upcoming election and beyond will be increased. So increased awareness of their own role in governance and then through their exercising their civic responsibility of choosing a leader to lead the nation. That's the first thing. The second thing is also to increase the interest. Again, it's very difficult to measure, but it will be the small steps that we take towards increasing their interest in participating in governance at all levels. So not just a big one, but even community level, in their schools, in their community, the electoral areas, engaging the assembly members, having an interest to even participate or contest in the next assembly election that will be in the next 3 years, but
Okay.
then trying to build that interest from now. So we are hoping that this just turned 18 or young people who have never voted before for many reasons, including they can't be bothered, will have a mind change. So we are hoping to convert them from I don't want to be a part of politics to I really want to know
be a
what is
part of it.
going on and who is going to be. Yeah, exactly.
You have a
Yeah.
huge job on your hands then, and I pray
We
that
do, we do,
I
we
pray,
do. It's exciting
yeah.
as it is huge, but we will get there. We
Sure,
will get
sure,
there.
so I get it. But who else aside the youth can also take part of this, take advantage of this particular, dialogue to then take advantage of the opportunities that it presents?
So this meeting on Monday is strictly for the youth, and not just every youth, but the just turned 18 who haven't voted before. So if you turned 18 in 2021, 2022, up until this time, and you haven't voted before, they are the target. So it's a very specific target we are looking for. But I also believe that through the various channels and avenues that have been provided by multimedia, the social media platform, our own social media platforms at Star Ghana, and the partners that we work with. And I have to acknowledge the young people we work with in the New Drabin South municipality. We work with the New Drabin South Municipality Youth Parliament, the Achinto Foundation for Education and Self-Help, the Divine Mother and Child organization that focuses on young people, and then a young association group called Bibia Bear Fine. So they are the anchor groups that we work with, and they are
Okay.
mobilizing young people for this event. So using the platforms that are being created by multimedia, Star Ghana, and our young people, we are hoping to reach other people who wouldn't be in the room and who may not necessarily be within the just 10, 18 category
Okay.
to listen, to join in and listen to what we have to say and take advantage of what we have to say. We are hoping that older people or people who that fall out of the category may reach out to a young person after engaging online to let them know that you have a voice, and even though you were not at Ascension Hall, you have a responsibility to exercise your civic duty and actively be a part of the upcoming elections and vote and contribute to the development of the nation. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So remind us again, where specifically in Koforidua will this be happening?
So at the Ascension Presby Hall in Kufuridua.
Okay.
So it was taking place at the Ascension Presby Hall at 3 p.m. from 3 p.m. to 4:30, and it's live on Joy TV and all our social media platforms. I want to, before I go, say a big thank you to Botna Foundation. It's a Swiss foundation that is funding Star Ghana or partnering with Star Ghana to work with the young people in Koforidua to increase their participation in governance, and to say thank you to Star Ghana for allowing us to do this with our young people in Koforidua, and to the New Drabin South Municipal Assembly for their cooperation and their support thus far. They've been amazing, and their commitment towards the youth is incredible. The youth didn't know this until we started. When we started, they said the municipality couldn't care. But now they know that the municipality more than cares. So we are grateful. Thank you.
Doc, I'm grateful to you for joining us. Dr. Ernestina Koleki Tete is the project manager of Star Ghana Foundation. This is